Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
As soon as the words came out, Sean's face turned red with embarrassment. Jane was also a little embarrassed by the question. Not really. Someone sent me flowers in the office, but I already have someone I like. Jane could not help sneaking a look at Sean, and the answer was already obvious. Everyone was crystal clear about this except for Sean, who was confused. Sean's face turned gloomy after hearing it. Nicole sighed. It's so hard to make someone as dense and stubborn as Sean enter a relationship. Nicole could not help but assist Jane on this matter. Is the person you like around 185 centimeters tall and likes to drink caramel coffee with milk? As soon as these words came out, both Jane and Sean were stunned for a moment. Jane had not expected Nicole to be able to understand her hints at such a young age. Jane had a crush on her superior for the longest time ever, and when someone gifted her flowers at the office, it got rid of her hopes of ever getting close to him. On the other hand, Sean had noticed what Nicole hinted about. Is it me? He turned to look at Jane once more, anticipating an answer from her. Jane knew that if she missed the opportunity now, she would not have the opportunity again to express her thoughts. She took a deep breath and bravely said, yes. That single answer alone had made Sean's heart race. I am going to the bathroom, Jane said shyly. She's so shy, Sean thought to himself as he watched Jane run away. Nicole looked at Sean. Sean, the person Jane likes seems to be among us. No matter how dumb Sean is, he should understand the obvious answer to this. Sean was a little shy, but he kept his calm. I'll go check on her so she doesn't get lost. He walked away awkwardly after speaking. Steve, who realized everything, could not help but teased Sean behind his back. It looks like springtime is about to arrive for the dense willow in our family. Stanley could not hide his smile. It's all thanks to Nicole's guidance. Jane and Sean had known each other for 2 to 3 years, and she had liked Sean for the longest time ever. Stanley had even noticed it not long after he joined the company. Neither of the two had confessed their feelings, and it made the bystanders anxious just watching them. Stanley glanced at Nicole appreciatively. I didn't realize you were such a relationship expert. He could not believe that she could easily matchmake the ever-sprouting love between Sean and Jane, and it was mind-blowing. I guess she got it from experience, right? Spencer added. Nicole glared at him. Watch and learn, or you'll lose out to Samuel. She turned to look in Samuel's direction when she said his name. Samuel and June were chatting while sipping on boba and eating the cake Spencer had prepared for Lulu. Spencer's expression turned sour. Hey, whose pastries are you eating? He rolled up his sleeves and walked over, picked up the snack and said, was this even prepared for you? How could you simply consume it like that? Samuel was talking to June before they were interrupted. Samuel froze for a moment before frowning and said, isn't this for human consumption? When have you gotten so stingy? Why could Lulu let June have it yet I can't? I'd obviously be stingy with you. These are prepared for the girls, not for you. After he finished saying, Spencer replenished the pastries and brought them over to Lulu directly. Lulu was embarrassed, but her heart was inexplicably touched by the warm gesture, having never seen Spencer angry before, and it was over her favorite pastry at that. This feels like a dream, Lulu thought to herself. Samuel frowned. Fine, I won't eat it. Why do you have to get so mad over this? Samuel rolled his eyes and saw the barbecue Stanley and Tia, who were in charge of, was almost ready. Let's go over to the barbecue, Samuel said to June. All right, said June, who looked happy. As long as it was with Samuel, anything they did would make her feel contented. Spencer, on the other hand, saw the both of them leave and realized that he had gone a little overboard. Lulu turned to look at him and said, thank you for preparing those for me, albeit a bit too much. It's all right to have shared with them. Spencer suddenly became stubborn. I prepared them for you, so they are yours and yours only. Spare nothing for Samuel, even if you should bring the rest home. This damn guy wants to compete with me on everything I do. I'll be damned if I ever were to give him anything to eat, thought Spencer. Lulu could not help but laugh, having never seen such a childish side to Spencer before. All right, I won't share any of it with them next time and bring home those I can't finish. Spencer grinned from ear to ear when he heard Lulu say this, not able to stop himself from looking at Lulu more. Under the sunlight, Lulu's gentle eyes made Spencer's heart pound faster. Lulu is such a beauty with a lively and cheerful personality. Her bright and beautiful eyes are so alluring. Spencer could not help but look away quickly out of embarrassment. I'll get you something to drink. Okay, Lulu nodded obediently. Nicole, who had been spectating everything on the sideline, noticed that things were progressing fairly well for her brothers except Steve, who kept sneaking looks at Sally from a distance. As soon as you called her out, Sally would come here right away. I bet she hasn't forgotten about you either after all these years. Nicole's words made Steve's expression tough to express into words. If you can't forget her, why don't you get back with her? We're all adults here, so why are you hesitating? Reminded Nicole. Steve looked back at Nicole and said, It's not easy as you say. She decided to study abroad without asking how I would have felt. I still can't let go of the void and pain in my heart. I am still wondering what I am to her even at this moment. Since you want answers, why not ask her yourself? Nicole said with an aura of maturity. She will never know if you don't tell her what you felt. Go and talk things out, clear out the misunderstandings between the two of you. Who knows if it will go back to the way you were before? Won't you two feel better after lifting the weight off your chests? It was no surprise to say that Nicole saw through the situation that immediately eased Steve's heart. You know what, Nicole's right. What am I afraid of? Things can't get any worse than it is now anyway. Nicole said no more as she noticed Steve's eyes brighten. It was as if he had come to a realization. My brothers may be a bit dense when it comes to relationships, but with a little bit of push and encouragement, they should be able to do it, Nicole thought to herself. On the other side, the chefs had started to help out with the barbecue while Nicole found a spot to sit on. She felt that someone approached her and raised her head subconsciously, only to come across a familiar pair of eyes. What are you doing here? Nicole stared at Jared with a surprised look on her face. Nicole did not inform nor invite Jared to this. How did he come here? Your father notified me about this, saying that your brothers had brought some guests over. Why didn't you tell me? Daniel thought Nicole had invited Jared and called to remind him to arrive earlier. Nicole could not help being shy. My brothers had brought back their female friends over to express their thanks and to let our mother do some matchmaking. Why are you here? Both Nicole and Jared are eventually becoming husband and wife, so there was no need for them to meet up for this occasion. Oh, so you are aware that you're going to be wed soon, said Jared before he walked toward Gloria and Daniel. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Riddle. Gloria was happily chatting with Sally before she turned around to see Jared. Gloria beamed with joy. Oh my, Jared is here. Come and have a seat. Thank you, Mrs. Riddle, Jared smiled. Nicole trailed along behind Jared and sat down on the opposite side of her mother. This was the very first time Sally had seen Jared. She was a little taken aback. This is... Gloria immediately introduced. This is Nicole's fiancé, Jared. Sally was taken aback and recalled, I think I've heard this name before, the president of the Johnston Group, right? Steve, noticing Sally's eyes lit up when she saw Jared, was engulfed in sadness and silently sat closer to her. Sally, sensing Steve sitting closer next to her, lowered her head to hide her blushing face. Nicole could tell that Steve was jealous. She smiled, curled her lips, pretended to be nonchalant, and said to Jared, This is Steve's girlfriend, Sally Kane. Oh, Jared nodded his head lightly. Steve nearly had a heart attack when he heard Nicole's words. Steve was flustered yet felt mentally relieved. Sally, who was sitting beside him, was a little awkward. I'm not. Steve cut her off. Let me grandly reintroduce my sister and my future brother-in-law. His intimate attitude and eyes instantly made Sally's heart flutter. Sally, finding herself speechless, could only stiffly nod, oh. Nicole was satisfied when she saw Steve and Sally interact with one another. It seems to me that Sally doesn't have a boyfriend. Otherwise, she would hurriedly try to clear things up. Gloria, who had also noticed the interaction between the two of them, dotingly grinned. Oh dear, What are you youngsters still accompanying us for? Go and have some barbecue, have fun, and get to know each other more. Steve understood what Gloria meant, nodded, got up, and stretched his hand out to Sally. Let's go. Sally looked at the outstretched hand, surprised at the sudden invitation, but with Nicole, Jared, and Gloria looking at her, she could only endure the embarrassment and place her hand in Steve's. He grabbed it instantly and pulled Sally up. She could not help herself from having her face flushed bright red. As she held his hand, she recalled her time with Steve 3 years ago. After all these years without contact, I thought everything would have changed, yet it seems that nothing has changed. Gloria's grin grew wider when she watched Steve and Sally walk away while holding each other's hands. You see that? My idea was brilliant after all. If your brother was not forced to do it, he won't even know how to invite someone home. Nicole raised her eyebrows subconsciously. Mother, you organized this whole thing mainly to reunite Steve and Sally? It was only a few days after Sally had returned to San Giotto when Gloria asked everyone to invite their female companions. Nicole could not help but ponder, this must have been organized deliberately. Otherwise, how would things be so coincidental? You're right. I don't have to worry much about Spencer and Samuel since they're still so young. I'm only worried for both Sean and Steve. One of them is too blind to notice what's right in front of him, and the other still dares to be self-conflicted even when she had already returned. Merely looking at their predicament made me anxious. Your assistance was a nice touch. Gloria noticed Nicole's intentions and felt relieved. Only you truly understand how I felt. Nicole smiled brightly. Jared noticed how worried she was for her brothers and was a little jealous. You care so much about others' affairs, but when will you care as much about our affairs? Nicole was suddenly embarrassed. Didn't I already make a promise? Jared raised his eyebrows. You promised, but when will you start making it happen? Nicole noticed Jared's eagerness to take their relationship to the next level. Gloria overheard their conversation and her eyes lit up. I too think you should start making the preparations. Once you get your marriage registration, then the wedding reception can be held anytime you wish. No rush, of course. Mom. Nicole looked awkwardly at Gloria. Gloria was a little reluctant to part ways with Nicole before, but after knowing that Nicole would still be living close by, her perception changed entirely. Gloria hesitated a little before reminding Nicole, I'm doing this for your own good. Mr. Johnston here is such a nice young man. Many people dream to have someone like him. You should marry him as early as you can. Jared grinned ear to ear. Look, even Mrs. Riddle agreed to our marriage. Why don't you take this chance before others snatch me away? Nicole's eyes suddenly became determined. I like to see who would dare to. Nicole's true intentions from her sudden gesture made her look away in embarrassment for a moment while Jared and Gloria laughed at her. Gloria nudged Daniel. Since your mother had said her piece, then you two should go and prepare a little. Since our family is now the talk of the town, the news of you two getting wed will be more exciting, Daniel said. Jared raised his eyebrows and thanked Mr. Riddle. Nicole, on the other hand, was too embarrassed to talk, suddenly not knowing what to say. Jared glanced at her proudly and said, Mr. and Mrs. Riddle, thank you for supporting us. If you have the time tomorrow night, my family would like to cordially invite you for a dinner together. Gloria noticed that Jared had arranged a meeting with his family and wasted no time agreeing. Okay, Mr. Riddle and I are available. So tomorrow night it is. Mom. Nicole did not expect Jared to be so hasty and straightaway suggested a dinner tomorrow night. The scariest thing about this is that my own mother had even agreed. At this moment, Spencer and Samuel walked over. What's happening tomorrow? Why is Mom so excited? Gloria gave them a blank stare when she heard them asking, It's none of your business, go eat. Spencer and Samuel acted flirtatiously. Come on, Mom. Please tell us what's going on. What's the good news? Jared took a look at both Spencer and Samuel and said in a friendly tone, The marriage between Nicole and I is on the agenda, and I've invited both Mr. and Mrs. Riddle over to formally meet with my grandfather tomorrow. As soon as he spoke, the smiles on both Spencer and Samuel's faces froze. When Jared proposed to Nicole prior, they were both very reluctant, and now that Jared was going to have both sides of the family meet one another, it meant their marriage is imminent. Isn't my sister still busy with the drama filming? Yeah, didn't she say she'll get married only after she finished filming her show? The both of them protested, hoping they can still hog their sister to themselves for at least a few more months. Jared smiled proudly. The filming for the drama had finished early. What? Samuel was shocked when Spencer was surprised too. Why? Has the filming ended? Jared raised his brows as he looked at the brothers delightedly. I invested in this drama, and the production ended early. What? Samuel and Spencer did not know that Jared would do such a thing just to marry Nicole as soon as he can. Isn't this too much? Samuel said, annoyed. Nicole likes it. How could you decide by yourself? He's right. Did you really do it just for the marriage? Spencer looked upset as well. Gloria was a little confused. What's going on, Nicole? Nicole did not want to hide it anymore. The production crew did not follow the script, so I refused to continue filming with them. The two brothers were stunned when they heard what Nicole had said. You rejected them? Spencer found it unbelievable. Did something happen, Nicole? Did someone bully you? Samuel frowned. Is it because of some nasty unspoken rules? Gloria immediately glared at him. Stop your nonsense. Jared was still here. How could he say such a thing? Jared could tell that the brothers were really concerned about Nicole, so he coldly said they wouldn't dare to do such things, but they did not follow the script and went against Nicole, so I stepped up and resolved this issue for Nicole. Jared knew Nicole did not want to worry her family, so he willingly took all the blame. Nicole looked at him, filled with gratitude. She knew very well that he had nothing to do with it at all. Daniel could see Jared's love for Nicole and was relieved when he knew that everything had been taken care of. I'm glad that it's been settled. We're lucky you were there to help her, Mr. Johnston. If Jared had not invested in this production, it would be hard for Nicole to leave. Even though no one dared to cross the Riddle family now, the existence of the contract will still make it hard for Nicole to withdraw herself. It's my pleasure. After all, Nicole is my fiancée. Besides, her not being in the production is just what I wanted. If she didn't join the show, we'd be coming back from Panem. This statement was for Samuel and Spencer, who kept quiet even if they did not want Nicole to leave. After all, Jared had been waiting for a long time. That's right. Now that Nicole doesn't have to film, you can start planning the wedding now. I'll contact the wedding companies for Nicole tomorrow and order everything you'll need for the wedding. Mom. It's too soon, Nicole said, embarrassed. Jared said, no, it's not. We'll fly to Panem over the weekends and get a marriage certificate before flying back here to get married. Nicole looked at him, both angry and shy. Why is he in such a rush to marry me? If I didn't meet him, I'd have a few years of freedom to myself. That's the plan. Jared did not wait for her to respond and decided in front of her parents. Nicole could only stare in silence and comply. Spencer and Samuel looked as if they did not want Nicole to leave and were feeling extremely sad. Stanley noticed it and walked over. What's up with the both of you? Samuel looked at him with a sorrowful gaze. Stanley, Nicole is really getting married now. Stanley was surprised. Why? He was a tad bit late, so he had no idea why Samuel said that. Daniel frowned as he looked at Samuel. Your friend is waiting for you. Why don't you keep her company? Samuel turned and saw that June had been waiting for him. He started to feel embarrassed and said, okay. Spencer looked at Lulu as well, who seemed to be waiting for him too. The pair then walked over with their heads hanging low. Stanley was amused by the way they left and left himself. Jared then started talking to Gloria and Daniel about tomorrow's agenda. Nicole watched as they decided on things together and felt that she had no say in anything. But still, she felt a sense of bliss. After knowing that she will be living next door after getting married, she did not feel like she was leaving her family anymore. Instead, she felt comforted. Whatever. I won't be leaving my family anyway. How is getting married going to change anything? So, she left everything in Jared and Gloria's hands. Her heart was warmed when she saw how detailed Jared was about the wedding. She felt loved and excited, even. The barbecue dinner ended peacefully. The sky was getting darker. Daniel did not want Gloria to catch a cold, so he walked her back. Sally was done eating too, and Steve offered to send her home. Miss Brito was looking after Sean, asking him to eat more, which made him uneasy. When it ended, Miss Brito left in a hurry, saying that she needed to take care of some documents for Sean. There was a complicated look in Sean's eyes. He continued staring in the same direction after Miss Brito left. Samuel and Spencer could not help but tease him. "Sean, Miss Brito is pretty cool, isn't she? She knows so much about you." "Yeah. She puts in a lot of effort for you," Spencer chimed in as well. Sean rolled his eyes at them. "I don't need your nonsense. You should take care of your plus ones first." Samuel felt shy when he looked at June, who looked slightly tipsy. "What? We're just friends." Spencer said sarcastically, "Is that so? Didn't someone say that he wanted to beat me in getting a girlfriend first?" Samuel rolled his eyes. "Ha! I knew you wanted to compete with me. I will not lose to you." Then, he immediately walked toward June and went to find a place to rest with her. Spencer felt awkward. "I didn't mean it that way." But Samuel could not hear him anymore. Sean could not help but glance over at Lulu, who had been eating and looking at Spencer from time to time. "You're both the same. There's no need to compete." Sean then left for his study. Spencer was taken aback. "I'm the same as Samuel?" At that moment, Lulu walked over. June had too much to drink, and Samuel said that he'd send her home. "I didn't want to disturb them." "Well, I'll be leaving now. I ate quite a lot, so I'm not taking any food home with me." Lulu smiled brightly, and her smile was filled with sincerity. Spencer saw that Lulu's clothes were not thick enough, and it was pretty cold that night. He could not help but ask, "How are you going back?" Lulu and June came in his driver's car. "I'll ask my driver to pick me up later. But the traffic is probably going to be bad at this hour." Lulu looked at her watch and said innocently. Spencer heard it and immediately said, "The traffic is definitely going to be terrible. I should drive you home instead." He put down his cup while speaking as he got ready to send her back. "What? It doesn't sound like a good idea." Lulu was a little shy because she would be spending time with Spencer alone for the first time. Suddenly, Nicole appeared out of nowhere. "Why not? Even June has somebody to drive her home. You've got to get home safely too. Spencer, make sure to take good care of Lulu." Nicole. Lulu knew Nicole was trying to help her, but she was way too shy. "Come on, get going now." Nicole lifted her brows and stopped her from speaking. Then, Lulu left with Spencer without having the opportunity to express her gratitude for Nicole. Jared watched them leave and lifted his brows. "You have good eyes. They actually make a nice couple." Nicole responded playfully, "Of course. I wouldn't have matched them together otherwise." Lulu and June were the only people who made friends with her without knowing her real identity. So, she knew they were not materialistic or ill-intentioned people. Samuel and Spencer were both very outspoken, so they would be a great match with innocent girls like Lulu and June. "We're still a better couple than them though." Jared shifted the topic and put on an arrogant look. Nicole glowered at him. "You're getting more and more shameless these days." "Really?" Jared chuckled and wrapped his arm around her skinny waist. "Why don't you stay at my place tonight so I can be shameless one more time?" Nicole's heart skipped a beat as she immediately shifted her gaze to Stanley and Tia, who had not left yet. Then, she pushed him away furtively. "Cut it off. Stanley's still here." Nicole would not normally act so shyly, so Jared smiled. "I don't care. We're going to get married soon anyway." Nicole glared at him. "I know, but can't you just wait for a few more days? Be patient." Jared gulped. Even though he was overwhelmed by his temptations after listening to Nicole's bashful scolding, he said, "Fine. I'll just hold it in." Jared said the last 3 words in an extremely seductive tone, and Nicole knew exactly what he was referring to. Her cheeks immediately turned reddish. "You pervert. I don't want to talk to you anymore." Then, she turned around and walked away. Jared smiled and followed behind her. Stanley and Tia began packing with the helpers as they watched them leave. Stanley noticed how diligent Tia was as he said, "Tia, you're our guest, not a helper. You don't have to do this. Tia shook her head. Taking care of Grandma is my duty, and it's only right for me to take care of her grandsons while they're here. She went to put away the baking pan as she spoke. However, her mind wandered, and she felt a burning sensation in her hand. Ouch. Stanley immediately stopped what he was doing and went to her as soon as he saw what happened. What's wrong? Tia furrowed her brows. I was scolded. Stanley grabbed Tia's hand and he saw how red her fingers became. He immediately grabbed the cup of water at the side and soaked her fingers in it. Come on, I'll get it treated for you now. He brought Tia to the living room as he spoke. Tia had never been treated like that before, so she felt very nervous. Mr. Riddle, it's fine. Don't move, Stanley frowned as he spoke. Then, he took out the petrolatum jelly from the medical kit before applying it on Tia's fingers. Suddenly, the living room turned silent. Tia became so sensitive to her surroundings that she could actually hear her own heartbeat. Mr. Riddle. She wanted to speak, but she had no idea what to say. Stanley carefully looked at the blisters on her fingers and mumbled under his breath, We've got to take care of this as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's going to hurt a lot. Okay. Ouch, Tia nodded, but she frowned when Stanley touched her wound with the cotton swab. I'll be gentler. Stanley's voice sounded so warm that it instantly calmed Tia down. What's going on? I already have somebody else on my mind. But why is my heart beating like crazy now that Mr. Riddle cares for me? Tia felt very awkward. She did not dare to speak, and she even almost stopped breathing. She only opened her mouth after Stanley applied the gel to her fingers and patched her up. Thank you, Mr. Riddle. Stanley shook his head. Don't mention it. You're like my little sister. It's only right for us to take good care of you. Tia immediately nodded and she was relieved. Ah, Mr. Riddle is only treating me as his little sister. I'm so glad. I'll go back to the room now then. I guess Grandma is going to sleep soon. Sure, Stanley nodded and watched Tia leave. Stanley got a little worried as he looked at Tia's back. He wondered to himself, what's up with me? Was I doing too much? At night, Nicole took a shower and went to her bed. She had no idea why, but she felt a little nervous when she thought about how her family was finally going to meet with Jared's family tomorrow, even though everything was already planned. She just could not help but feel perturbed when she was about to get married for real. Then, she received a call from Lloyd. Nicole hesitated, but she did not answer it. She received an apology text on WhatsApp from Lloyd very soon after that. Lloyd sounded very sincere, but Nicole did not budge at all. Nicole knew that she had to toughen up, or she would only get his expectations up. She figured the best thing to do was to not give him any hope. Lloyd gave her another call sometime later and Nicole took her time to answer the call. Lloyd heaved a sigh of relief after hearing the call connected. Nicole, I'm sorry. Even though he said sorry through WhatsApp, he still wanted to express his deepest apologies to Nicole properly. Forget it. Nicole thought that he should be responsible for his actions. Lloyd kept quiet for a while before he nodded and said, Okay. After all, you helped me this time, but I ruined everything myself. You don't owe me anything. He would feel very awful whenever he thought about how Nicole said that she was going to compensate him in some other way. He did not want Nicole to treat him like a stranger again. Nicole kept quiet. Lloyd continued, the production team agreed to let Jared pull out his investment and they're fine with you not participating in the show anymore, but... Lloyd stuck on the last word he said and sighed. To me, Lukewarm only has one female lead, and that's you. So, I'm not going to erase any scenes that you filmed. Even though the length won't be long enough to produce a television series, Lukewarm will be aired as a movie instead. Nicole frowned as she was not expecting Lloyd to be so stubborn. I want to keep the good memories we had in this show. You won't blame me for doing this, right? Lloyd asked fondly. Nicole responded indifferently, whatever. Lloyd's heart sank. I guess what I did hurt Nicole very deeply, but I really love her, and I just couldn't help myself. Am I wrong for being in love? He forced a smile by suppressing his sadness. Thank you. I'm still going to email you whatever I found out recently. Don't worry. Nicole shook her head. It's fine. Jared is already on it. Lloyd gave her some useful leads before, but Nicole believed that Jared could take care of the rest. But Lloyd still wanted to say something. Nicole said, "I'll hang up now if there's nothing else." Lloyd was stupefied as he tightened his grip on his phone. All he could do was just smile bitterly. Okay. He knew that was probably going to be his last time calling Nicole, but he had no other choice but to hang up even if that was the case. "Bye," he said. Nicole hung up and stared into space. She could not help but remind herself about the times she went on missions with Lloyd. He used to be a very stubborn young man who would never submit to anything. However, after not meeting him for a few years, Nicole could not figure out why he would become someone like this. She also had no idea when he started caring so much for her. "What are you thinking about?" Suddenly, she heard someone talking behind her. Nicole turned around and subconsciously raised up her fist, but that person immediately grabbed her fist and pinned her down on the bed. Nicole noticed a familiar scent and she was stunned. "Why are you here?" Jared looked at her playfully. "I missed you. I decided to come to your place since you won't go to mine." After all, that was not his first time sneaking into her house. Nicole frowned. "This is trespassing." Jared smirked. "Call the cops on me then." Nicole blushed as she said angrily, "Jerk." Jared smiled playfully and hugged her close. "I have no choice. I just can't stop myself from missing you." He felt very comfortable whenever he was around Nicole. "That's why I want us to get married as soon as possible so we can be together." Nicole could feel Jared's sincerity and could not stop herself from hugging him back. "Okay." She did not reject him this time and he was overwhelmed with joy as he bowed his head down and kissed Nicole's lips. The room slowly felt hotter, and Jared began to lose control of himself. Nicole lay on the bed and allowed Jared to do whatever he wanted to her. The next morning, someone knocked on Nicole's door and woke her up. "Nicole? Nicole, are you awake?" Samuel sounded a little confused as he asked from behind the door. Nicole would always wake up early to exercise and rarely slept in, though Samuel had no idea why Nicole had not woken up at this time. He knocked on the door again and heard Nicole's voice coming out from inside. "Coming." Samuel only knew that Nicole was still in the house. "Oh, okay. Take your time." Then, he went downstairs awkwardly. Spencer was downstairs when he asked, "Is Nicole in her room? Did she leave already?" "No. She sounded like she just woke up." Samuel looked at Spencer strangely. "Are you sure? Why would she wake up so late?" Spencer was very confused. "Did she have too much fun last night?" Samuel scratched his head and said, "I think I heard somebody else in her room." "How is that possible?" Spencer got even more surprised. "I'm sure that you heard wrongly. Who would be in her room?" "You're right. I must have heard wrongly." Samuel felt like he was wrong too. They looked at the time and figured that they would definitely be late today. However, that was also the reason why they could not leave Nicole alone. Nicole came downstairs hurriedly. "I'm sorry," she said as she thought to herself, "it's all Jared's fault. Last night was just too exhausting. I overslept, but he still did not wake me. Ugh, he even asked me for a goodbye kiss just now." "It's okay, we're not always on time too. Let's go," Spencer said thoughtfully. "Okay," Nicole nodded helplessly as she thought. "Thank God they're so understanding." "I got your breakfast, so you can have it in the car." Samuel was worried that she did not eat her breakfast. "Thank you, Samuel." Nicole's heart was warm because of Samuel's kind gesture. She was exhausted and famished. The trio then went downstairs and got into the car, but no one noticed that Jared was standing on her room's balcony, watching her hurry into the car adorably. This version of Nicole is too cute. Nicole arrived at her school in a short amount of time, though no one in her class dared to condemn her for her tardiness. The revision class went on as usual, but Regina was absent. Lulu said, "Seems like Regina is scared, huh?" "She didn't even come today." June looked amused. It did not bother Nicole as Regina's presence was none of her business. At that moment, Lulu said softly, "Nicole, are you getting married?" Nicole stopped what she was doing. You heard it last night? They were there last night, and Jared had not been hiding the fact, so Lulu must have heard it. Obviously. This is great news. How could I miss it? So it's true. Congratulations in advance. June exclaimed. Seems like we have to prepare your wedding present now. Nicole looked at them. There's no need for that. You can be the presents yourselves. Ha! Lulu was stunned, not knowing what Nicole meant. Last night, my mom said I needed bridesmaids in my wedding, and you're both fit for it. Nicole heard most of her mom and Jared's conversation, so she told Lulu and June about it. Bridesmaids? That sounds fantastic. June was excited. Your wedding must be extremely grand, right? It's nice that you want us to be your bridesmaids. Lulu was excited as well. Yeah. Nicole. I'm so touched that you actually want us to be your bridesmaids. Nicole smiled and looked at Lulu, not expecting them to be so moved. Who else would I get? You're my best friends at Royal Creek. Lulu felt even more touched when she heard that. Nicole. I really didn't expect to be such an important person to you. Lulu looked as if she was going to burst into tears. June's eyes watered as well. Yeah, me neither. Nicole said playfully, you should have confidence. Okay, it's all set then. You must both be present. Of course. They nodded. Sitting behind them was Bradley, who quickly said, Nicole. What about me? Can I be the best man or something? Bradley tried to flatter her, but she frowned. Do you have a female companion? These ladies here have their own male partners. Both Lulu and June's cheeks flushed. They knew that Nicole was talking about Samuel and Spencer when she said that. Bradley felt extremely awkward. Well, no. Then he continued dejectedly, seems like I won't have a part in your wedding now. I'll just be a waiter there. Lulu chuckled, at least you're quite self-aware about this. Then, the four of them joked around with each other. Not far from them were Gary, Wayne, and Jack, who were all shocked when they heard their conversation. Nicole is getting married. I know they're engaged, but this is normal in this circle. After all, wealthy families tend to plan their marriages in advance to consolidate power. However, I didn't expect Nicole to marry so soon. Gary did not look too happy, but there was nothing that he could do. Ever since he realized that Nicole was Lucifer, she had become his idol, though he knew that he was not good enough for her. To him, neither was Jared. He was frustrated whenever he thought about Nicole and Jared's marriage. Don't be sad. This is inevitable. After all, other than Jared, no one else deserves to fall for Nicole, Wayne suddenly said mindlessly. Jack immediately widened his eyes. What are you talking about? Are you saying that Gary isn't good enough for her? Wayne only realized that he said something wrong after hearing what Jack said. That's not what I meant. However, Gary already got mad as he said to Wayne, keep your stinky mouth shut. Wayne stopped speaking and kept quiet. The revision class ended shortly after. Miss Emerson came inside the classroom and said before she began teaching, the computing contest will be held 3 days from now. Whoever is participating has got to start practicing harder now. She did not know that Nicole was very good with computers yet, so she looked at her worriedly. There's no need to push yourself too hard if you're really not very good at computing. Every participant of this contest also will be awarded a certificate. Nicole knew that Ms. Emerson was trying to make her feel better, but she only nodded. The morning passed and it was recess time. Lulu took her phone out and showed Nicole something. Nicole. Look, the production crew of Lukewarm said that they're going to turn it into a movie instead of airing it as a television series. What's going on? Doesn't that mean the storyline will be very short? June sighed. I was looking forward to seeing Nicole on television. Nicole smiled. It doesn't matter if it's going to be a series or movie. I won't want to be a part of showbiz either way. To her, she preferred Lukewarm to not be released at all, but she knew how stubborn Lloyd could be and he would definitely find a way to put Lukewarm on screen. Lulu and June stopped talking about it as they knew different people wanted different things in life. Then, they said softly, Nicole, why did they suddenly halt the production? Does this have something to do with Lloyd's injury? Was it very bad? Nicole knew they were big fans of Lloyd, so she sighed. Why do you two still care about another man so much? Are my brothers not good enough for you guys? Both of them blushed after hearing how Nicole teased them. Why did you bring them up? Yeah. We just wanted to know how he is. Nicole said playfully, instead of spending your time on an irrelevant person, why don't you think about your own future? Lulu and June were speechless. Then they said, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're so annoying. You just won't stop teasing us. Humph. Then, they turned around shyly and went to get some rest. Nicole looked at them and smiled. Then, her eyes turned serious. She honestly did not want to talk about anything that had to do with Lloyd anymore. The school soon ended before she realized it. Even though Samuel and Spencer were still waiting for Nicole at the school gate, they looked very dejected. What's wrong with you guys? Nicole looked at them curiously. Did something happen because I was late to school today?
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.